thinking, what if we just walk away?
Now you're starting to talk.
I was like, nah.
What?
Nah.
Lady, I'm your knight in shining armor.
Yeah, man, I just finished Rebel Ridge on Netflix, and I just finished another Netflix movie the other day, The Deliverance, and I ain't giving no good grade. And I know a lot of black people probably didn't like that, because some black people just like seeing black people in stuff. I'm not one of those. It still gotta be a good movie with good acting, good writing, and it still gotta make damn sense. Listen, Rebel Ridge was actually a very good movie. It had a dry spell in the middle. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was a dry spot in the middle where they was kind of dragging, and I was like, come on with it. I don't care about this part. Let's get back to the action. Listen, we got a brother named Terry, played by Aaron Pierre. You might know him from the series called Underground Railroad that was on Amazon Prime. I know it's hard to watch. I know it was for me, because I'm tired of seeing us enslaved movies getting beat and fighting for freedom. Even though we kind of fighting for freedom in this movie too. But I like this movie. Listen, man, Terry plays an ex-military specialist. You know what I'm talking about? His cousin gets arrested in a small hick town with a little weed, and he got a history where he snitched on a big-time killer in another state. And if he goes to jail, well, you know what they gonna do to that baby in jail. You know what they gonna do to the boy. Snitches get stitches, unless their name is YSL Woody. You know what I'm talking about? They get stitches though. So he rides through town on a bike. You know, he ex-military. I guess he like being in shape. So he's on the bike. The police are riding behind him, and they claim that they have had their lights on and their sirens, and he ain't heard. So they bump the bike and make him spin out. I don't know if police supposed to be doing it. I don't know. But I don't know the rules of engagement in his town. Anyway, they pull him over and they harass him, and they set up a situation where they force him to let them search his property, which he doesn't want them to do. But they tell him that we're going to get a K9 unit out here, and it may take an hour. And just so happens the brother's trying to get his cousin out of jail, and he got like 1 hour left to do it. So they tell him, you know what, go on and search my property. That's when they find $30,000, 30Ks. Know what I'm talking about? Off in his bag, and they immediately tell him, oh, this must be drug money, so we will confiscate it. You can't get your cousin out if you ain't got no money, dog. He tried to rationalize and negotiate with the police, and they tell him that it's for his own good that he let it all go, because if he tries to even pursue the money, they gonna put a warrant out for him and come and get him. It's skirt-tastic. Listen, now, I don't know how police gonna feel about this movie. I know a lot of people get upset when they even see things like this. They feel attacked, and they feel like people hate, but things like this really go on in some small towns, some big towns. Matter of fact, there's a town in Texas called Tallulah, Texas. They had an officer put 46 cases on black people in this small town. 46 cases, dog! 46. Matter of fact, listen, I'll take it back. I'm lying. Don't get me the line. They put 40 on black people, 3 on Hispanics, and then the other 3 were on white people who had biracial kids or relationships with black people. Anyway, they found no drugs, no money in none of these arrests. You know what I'm talking about? This happened in like 1999 in Tallulah, Texas. Look it up if you don't believe me. But anyway, while they harass this young man and he's trying to get his money back because he needs to get his cousin out as soon as possible, he gives them every chance, everything he can do to rationally solve this problem. But the chief of this town is so far in his ego, the stick is so far up his butt, and his pride is so big, he can't let the man off. He told the man, listen, I just want 10K to get my cousin out. I can go on by my way. But the chief says, no, sirree. I felt disrespected. So the other 26 wasn't enough. He wanted it all. He embarrassed the man. He just didn't know that this man was trained in all forms of martial arts and hand-to-hand combat, period, and weaponry. He was trained in everything. He was Black Rambo. That's what I call him, Black Rambo. You know what I'm talking about? Even though if you've seen Underground Railroad, it didn't go too good for my boy. With the town's police and slave catchers in it. I don't want to think about that no more. But anyway, man, my boy cut up all through this movie, man. I'm talking about he put foot to tail, foot to butt, belt to butt, whatever you want to call it, all throughout this movie. I enjoyed the action from beginning to end, and all the sequence, the hand-to-hand combats, all of it was excellent. It was A1. The little love situation, I guess you could call it that. That kind of was boring. But I understand why I was in the movie. It was needed to add a little substance to what was going on in this movie. But the concept of a corrupt town, a corrupt chief, corrupt judge, everybody corrupt, mama, daddy, kids, all the way through. Yes, they really exist. You know, there's this thing called sundown towns that once existed. They still exist in America. And I know some people that might watch my video and be like, you know what? When you talk about race, you create the atmosphere for racism. If you just didn't talk about it, then this stuff still exists. Listen, I'm from Dallas, Texas. I can't say Dallas, Texas is like that, though. We have instances and you have people of all sorts. It takes all kinds to make this world. It takes all kinds. But there's some little country towns between here and Waco, Austin, or whatever that I wouldn't dare stop through at night. I wouldn't dare do it because they're gonna have speed traps. They're gonna have escalation of force situations, and they're gonna have reasons and ways to stop you and trap you in order to get money. They may not want to lynch you like in the days of old, but they're gonna be ways that they're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Boy, we know you're not from around here. That's what I'm saying. And in this show, it was that situation, man. In this movie, it was that situation. They just so happened to mess with the wrong brother. Someone who could stand up and do something about it. No, I'm talking about a 6'4", light-skinned super. This ain't a Tyler Perry movie, even though that's his description. Tyler Perry probably ain't gonna put him in the movie because Tyler might throw him in the movie. He a Tyler Perry prototype. But anyway, dude did a good job acting, and the action scenes were very, very good too. I give it that. If I gave it a grade between 1 and a 10, I give it an 8. Rebel Ridge on Netflix. And I'm giving it an 8 as far as a Netflix movie, not as just a great movie overall, just something on Netflix, you know what I'm saying, enjoyable, make the time go by a couple of hours, you know what I'm talking about? Like I said, a little dry spot in the middle, but overall, good movie. Junior, Rebel Ridge.